Why you do that? Yeah. So this is me and my thoughts here on Kiwi's Road. Um, about Forrest Fenn, Project X, the thrill of the chase, and a different kind of perspective. For us, simplifying a whole lot, I guess, in a way that is not just good for us, but as a good for the whole. Um, yeah, Project X. I guess I could shut this off, down, because I have a thing, but I wanted to see, who else is with me, my thoughts here, because this is me bringing my world to whoever. Mister, you want to sing? You know who that is? That's the Cranberries. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Project X. A different kind of perspective. Google Sheets. I suppose I can get on this. Let me get on this YouTube thing and see if anybody's even interested in Project X. You just Project X all over my man, like there, mister. Thank you very much. Come on, man, mister. What is it? What you doing? So I'm trying to teach, I'm trying to work with Kiwi on what you're doing. So this is actually kind of interesting how this is now working out here. Google Sheets, YouTube. Library, your videos. Kiwi, oh, you're live. Look at that. There you are. Nobody's there. Why? Everybody's at lunch. Everybody's at lunch. All right. Listen. I need help sharing this information for Project X. Google Sheets. Project X. I have it's called Project X Shadow Casting to get a better perspective of Forrest Fenn and his secret of a state of mind. If perch, I said state of mind. If you miss by an inch, you miss by a mile, and your thoughts are safe. So, for people who are willing to participate in Project X, just leave a comment, not on a perch, but label Project X, and with answers to these questions, so I can put them in this like spreadsheet thing right here. Yeah. Because I have it categorized, and I'll take a screenshot of this and I'll post it on Facebook. But it has, so the category names are the shadow name. So as we do boots on the ground ourselves, in the states that Forrest has laid out for us through the thrill of the chase in the poem, ours is Kiwi's Road. There's K-Pro, Kalasars, 3D Bronze, Jillian Clayton, Thor Girl, J.A. Street, Jason and Sasha, blah. I don't want to say blah, 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 because it's not blah, 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 blah. Every dot represents the collective search community looking for Forrest. And so, you know, it's people looking at the whole situation, trying to find what state would lead you closer to a certain location associated with a certain individual. And so, like I said, you know, this is shadow name. So as we do boots on the grounds, we're shadowing Forrest's footsteps, where he's been. Like that fellow the other day over there for traveling to was it Laos, whatever. Go find Forrest's plane there. I mean, that's, you know, a whole different type of boots on the ground there. But it's definitely a good way to understand a little bit more of Forrest in a way. But in the thrill of the chase, you know, I don't think it's necessary. His stories are all laid out. His stories are laid out for us all to interpret, just based on the meat and potatoes of his entire life. So to help people get at least a quarter perch. You want perch or you want up there? You want perch or you want me to... This is our brain. The why, for us, why we're doing Project X, is we want to be able to, not ourselves, but through other people, give hope to other searchers that you're at least right on your own. What are you doing? Are you trying to get down? Because if you want perch, I can bring you inside and we can take you to the perch. You thirsty? You want a drink? You want a drink? You want a drink? I'll drink. So, here. No? Alright. I call bullshit. People can at least have a quarter sense of hope that they're on the right track. Reassurance, and I think everybody can use a little of that. One way or shape or form. And bias or not, you know, everybody has their perspective of Forrest, but ultimately it's just Forrest's perspective that really matters in this entire search. Ain't that right, Mr. Kiwi? So the closest we can get is to be Forrest's shadows, following along with him in the states that he's been, logically and emotionally. And so when you reply on Project X, just give a state. Mine's Montana. Somebody else is New Mexico. Somebody else is Montana. Single story. So the stories in the thrill of the chase, Too Far to Walk, Once Upon a While, out of those 3 books, there has to, I would think, for everybody, then again, nobody, again, these are just my thoughts. This here is, this is all my universe. Welcome to my universe. And I'm serious about that, because, I mean, I can try to move this for a second, but I had already, yeah, that's my brain. So that whiteboard back there is, association with me and Kiwi, our road here. This is like our brain cell. This is our brain. The things that have kind of like stuck out in my life in a way that has meaning significantly, just like Forrest's stories do for him. And so that's why I call it the Kiwi effect, because the method that I applied for myself, I'm kind of applying to Forrest, but also to so many other people by getting everybody's perspective, you know? And you would have to think that all his stories would lead to, as somebody else says, he talks perch. Perch. You want up? This is up. This is come here. That's right. What's this? Come here. All right. Come here. You know that. You thirsty? You want a drink? Drink. You want the water? Well, not much water here. Well, you're making the drinky sound. You know, I wonder if they can even hear the drinky sound. And I don't even have it on the chat yet because I'm just kind of, there was nobody there when I started it, so it's like I'm just talking to myself, kind of explaining what Project X is and how to simplify the gathering of information from a lot of people to get a better understanding of an individual. Perch. And at least he's listening, so, and that's quite all right with me. Perch. Perch is inside. You know what this is? Oh, I know what that is. Where's my claw? What did you do with it, Kiwi? There it is. That one is. You're right. You're right. Let's see. You want this? So he's got this thing that me and Cindy got for. It's like a little teether thing for babies and whatnot. Anyway, Project X, digressing. Story, single story. Mine's the Thrill of the Chase, Flywater. I think the first stanza in the whole entire poem really kind of reflects for his my war for me. The thing that I use to kind of tie in Forrest's entire lifeline with his emotional and logical, to where at least he's got a line going out from here to there. You know what I mean? Don't ask why that's there, but it just so happens to be there. Project X, mind you. Anyway, so Project X in the comments, state, Montana, TTOTC, Flywater. That's the story that I connect, which is actually the next line, next collective information from people is, what is your connection to the chase? Is it logical or emotional? Is it logical that he would hide it close to home in a place that is right next to him? You know what I mean? He ain't got to travel very far. It's right there. And that's where his family is. That's where all his loved ones are. All his collected livelihood is down there in New Mexico. So, I mean, it makes sense that would be a good place to have a storyline that circles around that one, so that is supposed to be like or for me, I think, or no, there's another one, but so the circles represent in Project X, and this is for my collective thinking, and that's shared with whoever wants, is the storylines, because if you're picking out so many stories, you're going to see a collective of only so many stories really pointing out to signaling out his storylines. You know what I mean? So that, like the military, that would be one ring. My war for me. That'd be around Forrest. Flywater. That's one. So a lot of people, I would think, would have an association with one story. So it just kind of makes it easier to see this. Why? This Project X. So the next collected information, would be, so in the comments, under the connection status is how I have it. Emotional and logical. I feel that there's a more emotional connection to his childhood, even though there's a logical connection with everything else that he uses to sum up his entire life of everything that he is. And so it goes along with lifeline. Where along his lifeline do those stories tie in with the most that I feel is the most valuable, you know? And you start to see lines crossing to, I guess, the next collected, so like, and I'll go over my collected line. And then what age bracket do you feel most connected to? Again, I feel most connected myself to Forrest's childhood. And I think Forrest had a connection, especially to his childhood, as well as these others, but it kind of answers, a why in a sense. It's all, I think, to suspend time with love. You know what I mean? It's the love of family to control time, to make it suspend forever in a single point. And you put Forrest there, again, this is just my thought. This is how I come up with at least my state that I like for Forrest Fenn and the thrill of the chase, which is his entirety. The X falls, on a map for us. But Project X shadow casting is collecting the perspective of people of Forrest based on a few simple things, stories, states, their connection, and their childhood, to kind of give you an understanding of what Forrest is trying to, I can't say what Forrest is or is not trying to do, but a perception, I think. It helps me better understand Forrest by gathering all information, and using my entire imagination to use a process of elimination by simplifying a few key things that Forrest himself shares, that tells me that there's a state that means the most, and that in that state it is more likely than not, 1 out of a quarter chance to find a secret location within that state. So it's to hope, and the hope is, the why is to give. I'm trying to help people. I don't want to say I'm trying to help people. I'm not trying to help anybody. I'm trying to. Kiwi, what are we trying to do? A call to action of the good, positive thoughts and actions that we all can do, that can lead to an eternity of just bliss and gratefulness, and thankfulness and happiness and peace, just joy. Because in order to find that, you have to have had the other side, the worst of it, And I think at a point when you cross over that 24 hours and you're at that 25th hour, or people call it 13th hour, or a second past midnight, crossing over, you find yourself at a place, bliss of this. And to me, and Forrest, or not the Forrest, well, yeah, Forrest 2.0 right here, our X has already been shown. That's why this isn't about finding a treasure chest. You know, it's about finding the dots. The common denominator between all of this is that Project X is an icebreaker to meeting people. And the only way you can meet people to learn new information about anything, to teach other people something, is by action. So, thrill of the chase. Project X is an icebreaker to just communicate with other people, in the very least, to see what they think about a man who came to death and decided to do whatever. And so, what better way to learn a better perspective of him than to, have people like you guys commenting on Project X, casting your shadow on this roadmap, that this perspective that's a different kind of perspective. This is my universe. This is everything I've created. This is all based off everything I've been learning throughout the past year about myself and about Forrest Fenn and about other people. That it's a nice icebreaker to learn that it's not what you need in this world, but who you have to fill that need for you. Because we all want to be wanted. And I want your guys' perspective, your shadow, on Forrest Fenn. Where have you guys been, either physically or mentally? Because it's a greater story with more dots, more different perspectives of the universe outside of us, But with all of that said, take a breath, count backwards, listen to a sound, just be in the now. And all this will kind of just make a still picture if you take all the ripples away. And it's by the actions that we do that define how we look to others, not just now, but forever. And I think it's a pretty cool perspective. That's why it's called the Kiwi effect. Just because it's every good idea needs a good title. And this title happens to be the Kiwi effect. And associated and married with the Forrest Fenn, Project X. What better way to get more knowledge about the universe around me than to have that icebreaker to reach out to people, to have conversations. But, so, now that I'm done yapping, only 3 people still. Well, thank you, you 3. So, would you guys, whoever on, watching, talking, listening, obviously not talking, because, come here, up. You're the whole reason that this is Kiwi's Road there, buddy. This here is Kiwi. Kiwi likes to sit there and he'll be like, it's amazing because he's got pictures. He'll be like flying, down a certain riverway. Huh, Mr. Kiwi? You want up? Up? You want up? All right, up. Oh, yeah, you got it. So yeah, I guess that kind of sums it up a little bit. And yeah, if you happen to watch this all the way to the end, all I'm asking is a few bits and pieces of information of you in a little way that is more profound than not, by giving a state, a story, that best suits your connection, either emotional, logical, or both. And And I've already kind of listed. I'll post this on, like I said, again, I'll take a screenshot, post it on Facebook so other people can sit there and see what Project X is kind of looking like, at least for a logical standpoint. And we'll go from there. So yeah, Kiwi, we done? Yeah? Alright, we done. Thanks for joining us. Don't like, it don't matter. These are just my thoughts, and this is just my universe. And thank you guys for being a part of it. It makes the outlook of life just that much more enjoyable and receivable. So, thank you for being you, sharing your one and only thoughts, and we hope you don't mind the travels along this road for Kiwi and us. So until next time, adios, muchachos. Oh, where's the tunes? Let's get them tunes back on. Oh, that's me. Not.